Hello and welcome to the third episode of Modcast, the show for mods, and shit. Anna, what's that third thing we talk about again?
Mods. Mods and modding.
Shit, that's right. You know, I should really break these things down. Anyways, I'm your host, Christian Goff, and I am joined by my co-host, Anna Castiglione. How are you doing today?
I'm actually pretty good. How about yourself?
I am dogshit tired. Anyways, I am sad to say that we will not be talking about penises today, because no one on this episode has one! Which brings me to our special guest. Now, she's not a known modder just yet, but she is making a very cool and unique mod, and I think all the ladies and men role-playing as ladies are going to love it. Today, we are joined by Mara Lightfeather. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad you guys have me on today, and thank you so much.
Well, we're happy to have you. Now, your mod isn't quite out yet, so I'm sure our listeners have a lot of questions right now. Hell, I have a lot of questions right now. But for now, would you like to just sit here and talk about your mod for a little bit?
Of course.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about what the mod entails.
Well, Skyrim Romance Mod. Of course, the name says it all. Skyrim is greatly lacking of romance. I mean, you get
The silly amulet.
I know, you get the amulet of Mara, and then you get married. There's no courtship, there's no flirting, there's no dialogue. You don't even know who you're marrying. And being a woman and loving romance, this has, I was thinking, Skyrim needs this so much. And no other guy out there is going to be making a romance mod. They're too busy making bikini mods, Yeah. So it was about time someone stood up and made a romance mod. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I for one kind of hated the fact that after you got married to your spouse in the default game, that they may as well just been walking statues. They didn't do anything. You just
robots.
There was no sort of animations where you could kiss them or even hug them, and I mean they didn't really have anything to say or anything like that.
They're just robots who sell you things.
Yeah, the romance
or move to a new house for you.
Yeah, the romance in the default Skyrim was very two-dimensional. So I'm really happy to see a romance mod that kind of fixes that.
Yes, definitely. With this romance mod, you have one main romance, and that is based off of the Neverwinter character Bishop, who is a bad boy. And, usually when someone would create a romance mod, you would have a man just falling for you right away. In this case, with this romance mod, there's more to it. There's character development, there's, talking, and there's winning his respect and him winning your respect. There isn't just, instantly we fall in love, we get married. There's a whole relationship that's involved.
Right. Bishop is your follower, right?
Right. He is the main romance of the Skyrim Romance Mod.
Is he the only character you can romance, or are there others?
And that's a great point, because, Chris, you are one of them. You play the character KL. There are many other male characters that you can romance with. Guys that will take you to the ball in solitude. Men that will ask you to run away with them. Being forsworn chiefs. They want you to be their mate. There's characters like elven mages who want to ask you on a date. I mean, there's so many characters who bring life and romance to the story, and they all are different.
Are they all males?
They're all males. So this is for young women.
Yeah, actually, that was going to be one of my questions. Is when I voiced KL, I noticed a very lack in dialogue for dialogue for male PCs. Was that a choice, or was that a constraint on the creation kit, or did you just decide that would be better for the mod itself?
That was a choice. I decided that to make it just for females. There are so many mods for just guys, you know.
True.
I had to make something for the ladies. And plus, being a girl myself, I was clearly only interested in guys being interested in girls, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the creation kit is so vast, and it took so long for me to learn. But it has those options where you can have a romance between a male and a female.
Actually, as a matter of fact, Anna has a very similar mod out right now. Anna NPCs 2.0.
Yep. I had a really extensive mod camp named Anduniel, and then I had Anna NPCs, and then I merged them. So they're like 8 major followers, and they're all romanceable.
Oh yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Dragon Age romances.
Oh yeah, me too.
And the party banter, so I incorporated that stuff into Skyrim in my mod.
Yes, I saw your mod. You did an amazing job. I was very inspired. I was so inspired.
Thank you.
I was looking at your website and your characters, and they look great.
Speaking of your website, I have noticed, like on a lot of the pictures that there seem to be unique animations. One I saw it was a kissing animation. Right. Another one I saw it what looked like 2 people both on the same mount that looked like they were horseback riding. Now my question is are these animations implemented into the mod, or are these just kind of poses specifically for the site itself?
These are poses. Reason being, I could have had these animations made, but for Skyrim, having animations, it's a lot of steps in order to install those animations into Skyrim.
Right.
So when I made this mod, I wanted to make it as simple as possible so that even if people didn't know how to install animations, that they could install this and still have a romance.
Right. Yeah, I for one use FNIS, which actually allows you to install custom animations into Skyrim, but I can understand that a lot of modders actually try to avoid requirements for their mods.
Right, and that is my main goal. I didn't want anyone to have to download extra mods or...
Yeah, people hate that.
Yes!
Including myself.
Including myself as well. I hate doing that. I just wanted this to be one install, to be as simple as possible, and just to be enjoyed, you know?
Yeah.
That's fully understandable.
Good planning.
Thank you.
Although it's a little disappointing, because one of the things that I always, disliked about the mounts is the fact that it would just be so cool if you could just have your follower ride on the same horse instead of...
I know.
Ride double, yeah. Or your lover.
Yeah, that would be so awesome. I
know.
Who doesn't
get married and ride away into the sunset?
I know, definitely. There's
I just worked at a Justin. Yeah.
There's actually, I do incorporate a hugging mod, or a hugging animation. That is in the mod itself. That's actually in Skyrim, though you don't see it.
That's a vanilla animation. I use it too.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
There's an actual hugging animation in Skyrim.
Yeah, have you ever seen the mod Amazing Follower Tweaks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it offers an animation where you can hug your spouse. So it just kind of made that as kissing, even though it's hugging.
Oh, okay.
So, just working in with a script.
Right.
Actually, I do have a mod that implements kissing in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's really funny too, because there's actually there's a quest involved in the mod where you can kiss all of the Jarls, and I've never done it before, but you get something out of it after you've kissed all the Jarls. It's really funny.
Maybe sounds like one that I saw a while back, but it was just kiss anybody.
Yeah.
And whenever you go up and kiss somebody, it would play this really cheesy kissy sound.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I know.
And it was the same vanilla animation.
Yeah, this is probably the exact same one.
That's great. One thing, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but I believe that this mod it's probably the same mod, but I think they actually did end up implementing a custom animation for the kissing.
Oh.
No.
Yes. I've heard of that mod too. I haven't gotten it to work, unfortunately. I can't kiss anyone.
Aww.
But with this mod, actually, there's a whole dialogue. There's a huge flirt menu where if you kiss Bishop, hug Bishop, massage his shoulders, or anything like, there's so many options, and what it does is it gives you dialogue where you read it like a romance novel, and it's like old school, and that's how I was inspired actually to do this mod, was because I experienced a mod that was very similar from Neverwinter Nights that had that same thing where you would read like how it felt to be kissed by Bishop or hugged by him, and it gives like a whole dialogue, a few sentences on the feelings you feel and how it's like.
Wow. Sounds pretty in depth.
Yeah, very.
I would try it. I'll try your mod.
All right. Yeah, tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play this mod. And the reason why I would play it is because I always roleplay as a female character anyways, so I'd be right at home with that. So. And
I remember you explaining why you play as a female character.
What is your reason?
Yeah.
What is your reason? I don't think you've told me.
Besides the fact that I play in third person and I just like to look at a backside.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Well, the thing is that I like to, tell a story in my head about like why the character is on her adventure and everything, and I just think it's a little bit more endearing to have it as a female character than a male character.
Yes, being a female definitely does rock, doesn't it, Anna?
Oh yeah. It's one thing I always hated about a lot of games, such as Assassin's Creed, is you can't play as a female.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Skyrim comes along, Dragon Age, and I was like, I can play as a girl.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Rock on.
And that brought in a lot more girl gamers.
Mm-hmm. Girl gamers are pretty awesome.
Yeah, the only one that I've seen prior to these two was Super Mario Bros. 2, where you could play as Princess Toadstool. And that was decades ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's the only one that I've seen.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I do absolutely love games that allow you to pretty much play any sort of person that you want to be. Male, female, dwarf, elf, whatever.
Yes.
I mean, even in games like Saints Row, where you can, it doesn't really have a whole lot of options as to like how your character, reacts, but it just has like a lot of like different customizations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I love the customs.
Definitely. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Actually, I do. I did kind of notice that pretty much all of your voice actors are extremely high quality.
Yes.
Did you pick them by hand, or did they volunteer for it?
Actually, both. I handpicked Jonah,
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Scott as Bishop, and you, Chris,
Right.
I handpicked for KL. The rest...
I thought it was the drunk guy you handpicked me for.
The drunk guy. I do have a few drunk guys in this mod that hit on you. Warnings.
Just like real life.
Just like real life, right?
Mm.
So how did you get Jonah?
Jonah
Because I
Scott.
saw on the website that he's a professional since he was a kid or something.
Oh yeah, he has 30,000 Twitter followers. He's I was very, 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 very blessed to have him get involved. I asked him. All I did was ask, and he's such a sweetheart. And he
Wow.
said yes.
And you did it for free?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's the amazing thing that has so inspired me. Everyone who has worked on this mod have done it out of just the pureness and the goodness of their heart. You know, I have no money to offer anyone, but I love how many people just want to get involved just because it's fun and it's creative. And that just inspires me to keep going forward and building more and more for this mod. Even when it's released, I plan on making even more, you know, updates to it as well.
Right.
Yeah, right on.
Actually, as a matter of fact, you already told me that you were going to have extra lines for KL later on.
Yes, definitely. Bishop being the main follower, I have many other suitors, men who want to romance you, who want to be with you, and KL is one of those. Being a forsworn leader, being the head of his clan, he chooses a mate for life, and he asks the Dragonborn to be that mate for him. And you know, you tell him in game that that's not your destiny, but he still wants to be with you. And so hopefully we'll see. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but it will come a time where, yes, there will be greater romances that you can have with other characters.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
And when is the release?
There is no date for the release. I'm just taking this as a project. I'm going as fast as I can, but I'm hoping to get it done in the next few weeks to a month.
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. No, changing the subject to other mods. What would you say is your favorite type of mod?
Oh, well, of course, Interesting NPCs by Chris Takahashi is the best mod out there. Chris is so amazingly talented, and if it wasn't for him helping me learn all that I have learned, I wouldn't have been able to get this far. It all started with hearing Valgus, who was voiced by Chris. I heard Valgus. Hey. This old man, this widow, you know, who would think that, you know, you could have a romance with somebody like that that's so different. But after I had Interesting NPCs and I experienced that with Chris' voice, of course, how could I not fall in love with Valgus? You know? And there's so many other characters that Chris added life to Skyrim, and he's an amazing person, and I think his mod is the best mod out there.
True. Chris is absolutely a funny, talented, amazing guy. I absolutely love him. We had him on as the first guest in the first Modcast, and yeah, he's just a laugh riot.
Yes, he is.
Okay, now we talked about your favorite kind of mod. What would you say is your least favorite kind of mod?
Oh, my least favorite. Oh my gosh. Well, I love fancying my character up in fancy armor. But there's so many bikini mods where it's so unrealistic. Yeah. You know? I mean, that just irritates me because it's like, who the heck would walk around in that?
In snow.
In snow, attacking a bear, a dragon. I mean, who would do that?
Yeah, really.
No.
Yeah.
Not very protective.
Not very.
Now, honestly, I don't mind skimpy outfits
as long
as they look lore friendly. Because to be perfectly honest, a lot of the default armors is basically just like a dude wearing a fucking leather loincloth. I mean, there are skimpy outfits in the actual game itself, but like for example, like the Forsworn outfits.
The Forsworn, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of skimpy.
And the fur outfits, the bandit outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
But at least they're still made of fur.
Yeah,
exactly.
So like my beef is that if the armor doesn't look like it's supposed to be there, like it's very lore friendly.
Right.
Those are the kind of armors, like kind of mods that kind of grind my ass a little bit.
So no anime mods for you?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I'm not even a huge fan of anime, so yeah, that would definitely be a deal breaker for me.
I like some anime, but I don't like it to mix with Skyrim.
Yeah, I love anime. I love anime, but yeah, it looks a little out of place.
It's very out of place.
Definitely.
There is another question that I wanted to ask you about your mod. Basically, you did say that Bishop is for right now the only follower, correct?
Correct.
Like, is there any like, for example, Anna's mod, she has like a lot of like special features for her followers. Do you have any like special features, like anything different from like other follower mods?
Yes, I actually have a lot of storytelling and scenes that go along with my characters. So when you're traveling and you encounter them, they engage you. And they're just like, oh, Dragonborn, or they don't even recognize you, but they instantly recognize, that you're there. Which a lot of NPCs, they just kind of walk by you and they greet you, but these characters want to get involved. And having Bishop as your follower, he also gets involved, and he and that character will usually clash because Bishop wants to be the only man in your life. So he will fight for you against the other characters, and he will, like, argue with them, fight with them, kill them, it doesn't matter. And he'll also advise you, like in your case, for your character who's imprisoned, he advises you to kill him because he sees him as a threat.
The fuck did I do?
You and your poetic words, that's what it is. You all will see when you play the romance mod, you will see KL as one of the most romantic, poetic characters, and will instantly sweep you off your feet with his dreamy voice.
Oh, thank you.
You write all this poetry yourself too?
Oh yes. I wrote KL specifically because I wanted to make him a really unique character, but I have a team of writers who are amazingly talented, and so many people who've helped me write the other characters as well. But Kale was my baby. I wrote all of his scripts.
Yeah, he was a very fun character to voice. I will say that, and I actually do look forward to voicing more for him.
Oh, thank you.
Now, here's another question. There are very few games that actually implement romance. Dragon Age being one of them. Like Mass Effect, all those games. Like, are there any games that you kind of took inspiration from?
Oh, definitely. Well, Dragon Age is the first to kind of introduce banter. I love banter. It's like, it's so funny, and they're kind of arguing / toying with each other, talking. I love that. So I incorporated a lot of that, where you can actually see how your characters act when you're not just talking to them, when they're talking to other people, their personalities. And when I got this inspiration to do this mod, it was because I had gone back about 9 months ago. I played Neverwinter Nights, which is a really old game, and Neverwinter Nights 2, and it was released in 2006, I believe. So the graphics weren't that good, but I heard that the role-playing was exceptional, and there was a romance mod for the characters, which was not in the original game due to budget cuts and time restraints. They had to cut a lot of the romances. So when I installed this romance mod for Neverwinter Nights, I was greatly inspired by how it was made, with the whole, flirt menu, how the characters would, argue to have your hand, to have your favor, for you to fall in love with them. I just loved that. And so I was inspired actually by another person's mod for a really, really old game.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, talking about like romances in games, like how would you think that that game creators should how do you think that they should implement the romance? Do you think that there should be like, options and choices, or do you think that the romance should be more static? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I think that it's great that a lot of developers, especially in Dragon Age, they have so many options. But I would like to have a romance that's almost real. It's so, like, that has so much dialogue and so much character in-depth. That's what makes it a person or a character come to life, is having in-depth, like, more conversations, more personality to the characters. That's what makes a game amazing, because if it's all action, like Skyrim is, it's so much action and so much amazing adventuring, and that's amazing, but it's missing a whole nother category that can make it even greater.
Character development.
Character development, exactly, Anna. So that's what I think more games should have, character development.
Well, okay, when you talk about romance, of course, romance always leads to sex. What would your opinion be on implementing sex scenes? Even like sex scenes that are just like that are like fade to black or whatever. Like, would you ever implement anything like that into your mod?
Well, I think I've played Fable, which has extremely hilarious sex scenes.
I've played Fable too, but I haven't gotten that far.
Oh, really? They make noises. It goes black, and they start making, like, hooping and hollering.
Really?
Yes. And for Dragon Age 1, they had a lot of animations, but you couldn't help but look away or blush.
Yeah.
Because
cutscenes.
Because it was just like, wow, it's like right there in front of my screen. With mine, I let the character decide. I do recommend some sex mods, but when the characters ask you to have sex with them, it does not fade to black. They just ask it, and then you can decide how it goes from there. And there's a lot of sex mods out there that you can choose to have. So if someone's a little more bashful about having a sex scene, I give them that option. I don't want to force them into like, oh, you have to watch it, or no, you just have a black screen. I just want them to decide for themselves. So it works up to that point, but then they can choose what happens from there.
Right. Well, one thing that I've always liked were games that actually kind of put that conversation into the game, because sex is just it's a natural thing that happens in real life, and sometimes you just want to get your player character laid,
Right.
So like any game or mod that adds romance or relationships but doesn't cover the subject of sex or anything, it's kind of one-dimensional.
Right, because romance eventually leads to more. There's the courting, and there's the sweet words, and then there's more intimacy, and then it goes to sex, of course. But that's what makes this mod so great, is that we cover all of those bases. We don't just stop at the sweet words or just the intimacy or the very descriptive, how the characters are getting more like touchy-feely, and then it gets to the point where the main character, Bishop, asks you to sleep with him many times, and you can either deny him, and he gets angry, of course.
Oh, my balls, I know the feeling.
You can deny him, or you can accept. So you have those choices. You don't just have to do it. There's a choice. And also, you can also wait for marriage. That's that choice as well.
Wow. Well, Bishop is a very handsome dude, played
Definitely.
by a very handsome dude.
So yes.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine a woman just turning that guy down.
Well, Mr.
Very,
Narcissa.
very rugged, good looks.
Well, he's also very rough around the edges. He's, in his original character from Neverwinter Nights, he is naturally more wicked. He's not good, so he's kind of like your bad conscience. So, he'll either respect you for denying and sticking up for yourself, or he'll respect you because you side with him. So you can either like go against him, kind of like a rival romance like they have from Dragon Age, or you can have more of a romance where you side with him. Right. It all depends on the kind of choice you want to make.
So it's a win-win no matter what.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Okay.
Well, unless you slap him too many times, which you can do.
Oh, you can actually slap him?
You can slap him?
Yes, you can slap him.
Wow. Like, there's an animation?
Oh, no, you can slap him, and then he'll pretty much get really pissed off.
Oh, what you could do is you could implement a fade to black and just kind of like add a sound effect.
Yeah, that would work.
Amazing idea.
And then just have the voice actor just go, "Ow!"
Yeah, or you can start a brawl.
and then it fades back from black, and he's on the floor in suffering pain.
Yeah.
Yes, that's an amazing idea.
That would.
I'm getting
be
some
awesome.
ideas too.
Now, Mara, I do have to ask you this. What is your favorite type of games? Like, what are your favorite games in general?
Well, my first game I ever played was a role-playing game, which was Baldur's Gate 2. And that is really old. And after I played that, I played Fable. And after I got involved with Fable, I loved the fantasy and the music and all the characters and the role-playing. That is my favorite part in games. And I started playing Dragon Age, and then I got into Skyrim. So all of those games where it's a lot of role-playing, adventuring. I don't favor first-person shooters. I favor more of the medieval with swords and monsters.
Oh, me too.
Definitely.
Right on.
It's more like cheating when you have a gun, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are way too many first-person shooters out there anyways.
What's the name of that thing I have? Mountain Blade. Have you played that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's awesome. It's all medieval. I think you'd love it.
Oh, you should send it to me.
Yeah, there's actually 3 versions, and they're all on Steam.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mountain Blade War, Mountain Blade, yeah.
All right.
3 or 4 versions.
I gotta check
it out.
You know, I've heard of the game and I've wanted to play it, but every time I have the ability of purchasing new games, it just slips my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Mountain Blade also has mods, and it has romance.
Oh
yeah. Oh, it has romance.
Well, it has marriages. I haven't actually gotten that far because I've been so busy with other things, but I saw it in the achievements list. So I would assume it has some sort of
romance.
Pseudo romance.
Well, as long as it's slightly better than the Skyrim marriages.
I know. Bring me a Manus Tusk and I'll marry you.
Yeah, I'm getting married in the thieves' city.
Yes, right.
What's up with that?
What is up with that? Why can't there be private ceremonies? And that's another thing, actually, that's in the mod. You have private marriage ceremonies where you can choose the location.
Actually, I voiced for a character in Anna NPCs that was he was a captain of a ship, and one of the characters, he's a Darian Fleetfoot.
He's a pirate.
Yeah.
He's a pirate.
And he has his own custom wedding on his ship.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing.
And then the gypsy has her custom wedding on a cliffside in her gypsy camp.
Aww.
But Chris voiced for the pirate captain who has his own ship, so he's a captain.
Right.
And he conducts Darian's wedding.
Another character that I absolutely love to voice.
That's great. I have to try your mod out, Anna. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And it's always being updated.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Bug fixes and new features.
Right. How long have you been working on your mod, Anna?
This one, maybe close to a year. Well, maybe 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
It was first released in April, beginning of April.
Mm.
But the one Anduniel I had been working on for about 2 years,
Wow.
which was the predecessor.
Wow.
So,
I've been working on my mod so far for 7 months, and I've had to redo it 3 times.
I know the feeling.
Yes, for one reason or the other, but all the while it's gotten better and better. And I'm so close to having it released. It's very close.
Oh.
Well, that's what I love about a lot of modders is that they take so much like time and care into like not just making it, but making it better.
Yes.
Like for example, there's this one Skyrim mod that I absolutely refuse to ever play without again. And it's called Real Shelter. And
Real Shelter?
Yeah,
Real
it's
Shelter?
basically what it is like once when you walk underneath like a roof or something while it's raining or snowing, it'll actually stop raining or snowing like while you're underneath it.
I saw a mod recently called No Snow Under Roofs. Is that the same thing?
No Snow Under Roofs is that's kind of more of a static mod. It's more of an aesthetic thing than it is like a feature or a mechanic. What this does is like it's very pretty looking. It's very cool looking. It's like when you like stand underneath a roof while you're outside and it's raining, like it won't rain underneath the roof that you're under.
Nice.
That is a great thing.
Oh yeah. And at first, when it first came out, the mod was not that great because the transitions between when you got underneath the roof and when you left were very, I don't want to say broken, but it was very noticeable. But just recently, they updated. Well, the modder updated the mod, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It transcends like very, very fluidly. It is very awesome. And
That's amazing.
And he's made it compatible with like a lot of other different weather mods and all that. It is very cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's one great thing about Skyrim is that it allows us to improve upon it. You know, that is an amazing choice by the creators.
Indeed.
You know, the ability to make their game even better and to have more of their fans get involved. That was, I think, an ingenious move.
Oh yeah. Well, that does bring me to my next question. Are there any games out there that you love to play that aren't moddable that you wish that were?
Well, all my Xbox 360, like Fable, for example, I only had on Xbox. And I wish that you could add more to that. Like, I love how the fantasy is like, the feeling of it. And if anyone has played, have you guys played Fable before?
I've only played the Anniversary Edition on computer.
Oh, really?
I don't have an Xbox.
I only played the second one on Xbox.
Oh, I just love it. But that one, you know, back then, I don't think the developers could think, oh, our fans can't possibly mod or make anything for these games. It's way too complicated. But, you know, when Skyrim and other games started coming up with a creation kit or something that where they're, you know, people can improve upon it, that's when you really started seeing just games becoming so much better, improving, you know?
Yeah. Like, I really wish that more game developers would implement like construction kits for their games.
Definitely.
Because people will if you build it, they will come, pretty much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like okay, Skyrim, people still play Skyrim after all of these years. And
largely because of the mods.
Yeah, it's like more and more people will make mods, make quest mods and all that, and it just keeps the franchise just that much more alive. I mean, I know people who still play Dragon Age Origins, and that was made in
Me.
even I play it. Even I play it. So yeah, just being able to you know turn the game into whatever you want it to be is just awesome, and I really wish that more game developers would implement that. I wish that the Assassin's Creed games.
Me
were
too.
moddable.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
I definitely want to
Zelda.
play it. Oh, I love Zelda!
Wish you could mod that.
Yes, definitely. I think Link is hot.
Yes.
Link
I was
is
gonna make
hot.
a Link costume for my husband.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean,
Oh.
like even games like Mario. I mean, like wouldn't Mario Brothers be just that much better if you could put Mario in a skimpy bikini?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'd want to see that, but that would be pretty awesome.
Well, at Comic-Con, I saw a fat guy in a Leia costume, the slave one.
Oh God!
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no.
that's why I stopped going to cosplay conventions.
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Well, I have one last question for you.
All right.
What is in store for the future?
The
Like-
future. Oh, go ahead.
Like, what would you say? I mean, are you going to just stay focused on the Skyrim Romance Mod, or do you plan to go on to other projects?
This Skyrim Romance Mod has become so much of what I do in my creative time that I love doing it. So I can't see myself stopping once I release this initial mod right now, how it is. I want to improve upon it. So that's definitely in the future. There's going to be so much more added, and I'm going to be having the fans telling me what characters they want developed, how many, what kind of things they want. And that is going to dictate how it's going to turn out in the future. So the more that you vocalize what you want, the fans telling me, I want KL, I want more of KL, which they're already doing. Then the next release and the release after that, however, more releases will start reflecting what the fans want.
If you've ever taken a look at the comment sections on the mods on the Nexus, yeah, you kind of get like a lot of voiced opinions. Do you plan to add this mod to the Nexus when it's out?
Of course I do. Of course.
Okay.
And
Where else would you release it?
I know. Right. I'm planning on having a direct download on the website, and also a direct download and Skyrim Nexus download on Skyrim Nexus.
All right, that's awesome.
Definitely.
Well, you heard the woman. Once when it's out, get your ass there.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Well, that'll be all the time that we have for this episode. Be sure to check out Mara's website, where you can catch all the latest updates and progress on her mod. Also, be sure to check out Anna NPCs 2.0, available on the Nexus right now. Links will be in the description below. I would like to thank our guest for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mara.
It was a
Mara.
pleasure
Thank you,
having
Mara.
you. You have been a lovely audience, I'm assuming. See you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
This is Viridian, and you're watching the 3D NPC Podcast Network. You may recognize my voice from my previous work, How to Subscribe to a Podcast. It's real easy. You just press a button. This isn't a podcast, it's a Modcast. And there is no way anyone has ever thought of that before. No, completely original name. I'm not even going to bother googling it. And you shouldn't either. What mod should we cover next month? Make a suggestion in the comments. Oh, am I kidding? No one's listening. I might just as well tell you my deepest, darkest secret. Well, maybe I'll save that for the next month. I've heard some of you want me to start my own podcast. Well, first we'll need funding. please visit my Kickstarter project at giveveridianyourmoney.com. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the podcast. And for that, you deserve a reward. Now, if I can just figure out how to give it to you. I tried pushing it through the screen, but it's not working. Oh well, I guess I'll keep it. It's not like you need a jetpack anyway. I mean, what year does Chris think it is? 1968? Spoiler alert, it's not. But maybe it can be, if you press the button.